as Muslims, it is part of our belief that what will make you successful with this ilm, with this knowledge that you are acquiring, is going to be, number one, respect. And what's interesting, it's relative. What that means is the more respect you have, the more you are accepted by Allah. And the least amount of respect you have, if you have zero respect, it doesn't matter. You could memorize books backwards, hanging off a tree, don't matter. But if you got no respect, if you have no reverence for Allah, if you have no respect for the masjid, you have no respect for your teachers, you have no respect for the Quran, the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then I could literally write it down for you as your elders have told you, that you will not get far in life if you have zero respect. Now this concept, because a lot of people ask for dalil these days. What's the dalil? Is that something? Not to throw you in the bus. Okay. A lot of people ask for dalil. Yasir, what's the dalil? Well, we all know that Musa alayhi salatu wasalam had a speed impediment. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
He had a stuttering problem. Yes or no?
Yes.
We all agree. We're on the same page, correct? We all know that Musa alayhi salam had a speed impediment. He would stutter a lot in his speech. Right? But even with that speech impediment, what is he known as in the Quran? Or what is he known as in Islam? Musa who? Kalimullah. Kalimullah means, in simple English terms, the one who spoke with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that mukalama, that conversation, that dialogue is in the Quran until the day of judgment. So how do you reconcile? How, on one hand, this man could not even hold a simple conversation, but on the other hand, he's given that reference. No other prophet is called Kalimullah. You have Ibrahim Khalilullah, you have Musa Kalimullah, but this laqab, this auspiciousness, this respect was given to Musa alayhi salam. Why? Because he had adab and respect. What does that imply? It's literally, okay, I'm about 6 or 7 days away from graduating 10 years ago from South Africa. 10 years ago, madrasa told me to Miyasa College. Okay? June 14th or 15th, 2014 is when I graduated in South Africa. I will tell you in retrospect, and this is not to disrespect anyone, I had classmates that would hold positions. They would memorize backwards. I had literally a classmate that could recite the Quran backwards from memory. Geniuses, intelligence. They wouldn't even try and they would get 80-90% on their exam. But then on the flip side, you had students that were so poor, they literally could not afford a bar of soap to take a shower. They were so poor that they were literally living off of the zakah of people sending the madrasa the zakah. Well, I'm telling you 10 years later that, with all due respect, those students that had the money, had the smarts, had the memorization and the comprehension, you look at how much work Allah has taken from them 10 years later, and you look at those students that were not the sharpest tool in the shed, if you know what I mean. They didn't have the wealth, they were not known. They would walk by and no one even knows someone walked by. But you look at the work that Allah has taken from them, you say, it's unbelievable. And I will conclude with this. No one told me to say the following. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. That what this means in simple English, right? We have our Imam here. What this means is, whoever shows reverence for a sign amongst the signs of Allah, that definitely is a sign that you have taqwa in your heart. Why am I mentioning this? See, respected students, even when I used to be here, I would address 12, 13-year-olds and ask y'all, do you want me to treat you like a 5-year-old or like a teenager? And everyone said, treat me like an adult. Well, forgive me if this comes off abrasive, but why should I respect you as a 12, 13-year-old if you're behaving like a 3, 4-year-old? Remember, you will only get respect in life once you begin to respect yourself. And what am I getting at? The adhan, the call to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the call towards the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is amongst those signs of Allah. We don't want to go around and this and that. When are we going to understand reverence and respect for the deen? Understand? We don't understand the magnitude of what's being said. I could literally stand here for an hour and just go over the adhan itself, the message behind the adhan, how powerful this is. But then why is it I'm still talking? Why is it that I'm still pulling out my phone and music is playing in the masjid? I was sitting right here. I didn't turn back and see was it a student, but chances are it was. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Benefit of the doubt. But why is it that it takes multiple adults to quiet us down? We need to understand we're not trying to bully you into becoming quiet. No, we're trying to incorporate reverence and adab for Islam. And if you're not going to learn adab and respect today, then for the rest of your life, you could go anywhere in life, you're not going to get this opportunity again to learn about Islam again. You are literally here to learn about Islam. And the most effective way you're going to learn about Islam is by respecting it. Anything that was of any benefit, if was of any benefit, was from Allah. And anything that was out of pocket was actually out of pocket. You know. Okay? But may Allah increase, everyone say, may Allah increase our love for Islam. May Allah increase our love and respect for the deen. May Allah allow us to have more respect for our masjid, for our Imam, for our teachers, for our Quran, for the desks, for the pens. You know, I grew up from the way I was raised in Darul Ulum is that when we would see a pen or pencil on the ground, we would run and pick it up. And I'm seeing, sometimes the Quran is being placed here, respectfully, the Quran is not meant to be put on the windowsill and our backs are towards it. The Quran is the Quran. Remember, respect will get you far. It's not your smarts, it's not your dad's money, respectfully. It's not which qawm, which zat, or which language you speak at home. All of that is baloney. It don't matter. Your reverence for Allah and the deen is going to get you far in life.